Hey, what's going on, guys? So today we're doing a video that's a little more geared towards some of you that may be new to fishing, especially with bait casting reels, or just newer to fishing in general. And you might be wondering, well, I got this rod and this reel, I got this line, now how do I put it together? So I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to teach you guys how to spool a bait casting reel. It's really simple. If you were hoping to see some fishing in this video, sorry. Go down in the description and I will link a couple videos for you guys to go watch that has me catching maybe some big bass, some smallmouth, anything like that. So make sure you guys go like this video. Make sure you guys subscribe. There's going to be a little icon that pops up like right here somewhere. And just click on the subscribe button. It's right down below this video. It's free. It's literally, it takes like 3 seconds to just scroll down and click. Make sure you guys comment as well and let me know some video ideas and stuff. Whenever you guys go and get your rod and your reel and everything and you come home and put it all together, what I'm going to be using today is some Seaguar and VizX 17-pound line. I'm putting this on a Dobbins Fury Series 7.3 medium heavy. So you're going to take it out the package, right? You're going to have your reel completely despooled, no line on it. You're going to take it out of the package. You're going to open your bail, first of all. So what you're going to do is you're going to open your bail. You're going to take this little plastic sticker thing off. You're going to take your line out. Not drop it. You're going to thread it through this first guide right here. You don't need to go all the way up the rod just because you're just spooling, you're not casting yet. And then you're going to take it and you're going to put it through this little worm guide right here. It's your line guide, whatever you want to call it. Now, some reels will have these little holes in it right here, if you guys can see that. It will have these little holes, okay? And if you're spooling braid and you don't have these holes, you need to use some kind of backing. I would suggest using mono, but you can use whatever you want, whatever floats your boat. It don't really matter. Use some backing like fluorocarbon or some mono. And basically what that's going to do is that's going to keep your braid from slipping on your spool. You might like set the hook or hook into a big fish and your braid's going to look like it's coming off the spool and you're going to think there's something wrong with your reel, but really you didn't use any backing. Now, if you have these holes like I was talking about, you can just thread your braid through that hole, tie your knot, and you're good. That's why I like using Lews products. So after you get this thread through that guide right there, I personally, with fluorocarbon, I will thread it down and you're going to try to bring it out the bottom of the reel just because it makes it easier to put it up and around your spool. Now, fluorocarbon is very springy, it has a lot of memory, so this might be a little harder than you think. And then you want to get a hold of your line on the other side. Now here's where you're going to tie your knot. Okay, you're going to get your line. Now, you can just tie a couple overhand knots. I used to do that. I never had any issues with my line coming off or anything, and I've caught some big fish just like that. But what I'm going to tie is a uni knot. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to pull some line out because you're going to cut this off because it's been out and exposed. So, and you're going to take your line, you're going to put it together like this. Hopefully you guys can see that. It's going to be kind of hard to see. And you're going to create a loop like this. So you're going to have two lines here and then your tag end coming up like this. Now you're going to wrap it a handful of times around that loop in those two lines. So there's 2 wraps, 3, 4, 5, and we're gonna go with 6 because this is like some 17-pound line. If you're using lighter line, you might need to go a little more. If you're using heavier line, you might need to do a little less. And then all you're gonna do is just pull your line tight here. Do not cinch that knot down all the way. You want to wet it so that way when you cinch it down, it doesn't, the friction doesn't make it melt or break or anything like that. It doesn't weaken your knot, because believe it or not, the friction can weaken your knot. And then you're just going to slide that knot down onto your spool and pull it tight. Now on a uni knot, I like to pull the tag in just a little and then pull it tight again. Now Lews has these little guides down in here, and I love them because it keeps your line right where you want it to be. Pull that tight, pull your line back through. Then you're going to grab your scissors. Gotta have scissors. And you're going to clip that tag in. Okay. Alrighty then. So after you get that, you're going to get you a friend, or some of you might be as fortunate as me and have a wife that loves to help you do anything. So what we're going to do is you're going to get your friend, you're going to go find you a pencil or a pen. In our case, we're using a stick because we forgot one. So what you're going to do, you're going to create a hole through the middle of this spool. Now you want to make sure your line is coming off the spool the same way it is going on. So normally your line is going to be coming off the top of your spool, okay? But you just want to make sure that you're not going the opposite way as it's coming off your spool. And then what you're going to do is you're going to make sure your line, you're creating some tension, and so is the person holding the spool of line. And you're just going to reel nice and slow at first, just to get it on there and good. You want to make sure that your line is going on your spool nice and even, nice and tight. And if it doesn't go on even at first, that'll be okay. Now, once you get everything all spooled up, you want to leave about 1/8 of an inch to maybe like a 1/16 of an inch right here, so you don't fill up your spool too much, and when you go to cast, that'll create more backlashes and things like that. So after you get that all said and done, you're going to cut your line.
Can you not throw them at me?
You're going to cut your line, and you're going to thread it through the rest of your guides. And then you're going to go find you guys a tree or a telephone pole or anything like that. You could even use your truck bed, and you're going to tie your line around that, and you're going to walk as far away as you can go so that it pulls all of this line out. And then you're going to walk towards that tree while you're reeling, keeping tension on your line. And what that's called is stretching your line. You're making sure there's no twists. You're making sure that everything is going on there nice and smooth, and there's no issues, there's no knots or anything like that. Trust me guys, it'll help. So I'm gonna go do that, and then I'll tune right back in. All right guys, so we are here at the end of the line, and so you got all the way down to your knot. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna start reeling, and you're gonna keep tension on that line, and you're gonna walk towards where you have it tied at, and just make sure everything's going on smooth, and you guys will be good to go. All right, guys, so I showed you how to spool. So now what you're gonna do next is you're gonna let a little bit of line out. Basically the line that you had tied around your tree or your telephone pole or your truck bed or whatever. You're gonna pull some line out because you might have abrasions on that line, right? So you're gonna cut that off. Now you're gonna get whatever you want to tie on. In my case, I'm gonna be tying on a Texas rig here. So what I'm gonna be tying on are these Cast Cray 6 sticks. Okay, these are just a regular Cinco. Okay, now they have these ribs on them and they're in sections so that you can rip that off or bite that off. Maybe you want it a little bit smaller because where you're fishing is a little pressured or anything like that. So you're gonna get your gear here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this bobber stop, and this is just your basic Texas rig. My kid over here. But so you're gonna take this bobber stop, you're gonna put it on that line, you're gonna slide it up the line a little bit so you got some room to work. You're gonna take your bullet weight, you're gonna put the line through it. Now you want the line to come out of the bottom. And then I got a worm hook here. It's actually a hammer hook by Googan Squad. And what I normally do is I just tie an improved clench knot or a uni knot, one of the two, whichever one is easier for you. There's plenty of videos on YouTube where you can learn how to tie these knots. And now you have your Texas rig. So just clip your tag. Clip your tag in. Take your 6 stick. Thread it on there. Now Cast Cray has these cool little hook slots that run pretty much 2/3 of the way down your Cinco here. So line up everything, see where that hook's going to come out. To expose your hook, and there you go, you have your basic Texas rig. Just grab your bobber stop and your hook, slide it down there, boom, there you go. So that is how to spool a bait casting reel or a bait caster, or how to put line on a bait caster, or anything you might be searching for. Make sure you guys use code FBTV10 for 10% off anything Cast Cray. Their whole website, just go to castcray.com, at checkout, type in FBTV10, and you guys will save a little bit of money. So make sure you guys go down and you like this video, you comment, you hit that little subscribe button, and share this video with any of your friends who might be new to fishing or anything like that. So, as always guys, keep on fishing.